Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. This white woman right here needs to be checked out seriously. Dr. Stacy Ann Turner. Stacy Ann Turner is a board-certified forensic pathologist, and she has served as Mississippi's chief medical examiner since November of 2021. This woman right here, Dr. Stacy Ann Turner, this white woman right here needs to be checked out.
I'm Stacy Turner, and I'm the Chief Medical Examiner of the state of Mississippi.
Real quick rundown of her history, not that it matters more than her just being white. She earned her MD from the University of Kentucky. She completed a pathology residency at the University of Kentucky, completed a forensic pathology fellowship at the Southwestern Institute of Forensic Science in Dallas. She went to the top schools for this, and before joining the state of Mississippi, she held several positions in Alabama, Tennessee, them type of places. She joined the Mississippi's Office of the State Medical Examiner in January 2020 as the first full-time forensic pathologist serving South Mississippi. And eventually, she was appointed the Chief Medical Examiner in November of 2021. First woman to hold that position in the state of Mississippi. And this woman here, she ain't looking right. People are noticing a pattern with her. She seems to be a very important piece in this whole demonic white pale Voltron. When white people form pale Voltron, they have somebody at every level of an investigation as far as it concerns black people. They got them at the Department of Education, City Hall, the local store, the church, the forensic building, everywhere. There will be a white supremacist in every part of everything going on when these white people form pale Voltron. They come together and they lock it up and they not letting anybody in. Now, when this lady was appointed, right, she had a whole bunch of work to do. They often use that as an excuse for her. She had 1,600 pending autopsies, okay? She had a lot of work to do, but so what? So what? Because, black people are looking at her like, this lady ain't looking right. We getting this pattern over and over again. You know what I'm saying? In these high profile cases, these investigations. And I'm just saying high profile, okay? Remember, high profile are the ones that hit the news, that get the waves, the algorithm. But it's way more than that. Nolan Wells, Damian Cameron, Trey Reed, Channing Wilson, and we can go on and on. Those are the majors, but we also got other cases like Dow Mabil, people that you never even heard of. Pretty much what black people are saying is, hey, Dr. Stacy Turner, when these things are happening to black people, involving white people, these bodies are coming to you, you're supposed to do your job, and you got this pattern of just throwing it off saying, oh, it was the S word. Oh, it was this. It was never something that they may have done that caused this. You know what I mean? It's okay, well, we're gonna call it that. Almost like you just have a rubber stamp, Dr. Stacy Turner. And black people are realizing this now, man. But people have been doing this in Mississippi and many other states for years, long before her. It's just that in this area, it's like so constant that the heat is on her. She probably like, yo, I'm doing what y'all say, but this stuff keep happening. Now they looking at me. Yeah, people are looking at you. People are looking at you. Now this woman, she hasn't been charged with any kind of misconduct or proven to be doing anything, but people know like this ain't looking right. This ain't looking right. There's a lot of controversy behind the things that she's been doing. We can go back July 2021, Damian Cameron, Braxton, Mississippi. 29, he died after an encounter with Rankin County Sheriff's deputies, and his family alleges that these deputies repeatedly tased him, restrained him face down, knelt on his back for an extended period. Here comes Dr. Turner. Stacy Turner has to do her job, cause and manner of death undetermined. She said that this lacks sufficient information about the circumstances of this death to classify it differently. Now, 3 nationally known forensic pathologists who later reviewed the case for media organizations concluded the death should have been classified as homicide caused by restraint and compression. The family argued that the undetermined ruling hindered accountability. Facts. Stacy Turner, so we got you in your department, one white lady in her department, you're saying this, undetermined. 3 nationally known forensic pathologists come in. They look at it and they say, well, listen, this should have been ruled a homicide. How did that look? You looking real bad. I mean, you know what you are. You know what I mean? You're doing what they tell you to do, but we see it. We see you. September 2025, Damar Travion Trey Reed at Delta State University. Remember, people? 21-year-old black student found hanging from a tree on campus. Stacy Turner's ruling. Death by the S. I can't say that word on here. They don't let you say it. She said, no evidence of foul play. Come on, man. His family questioned this conclusion. Many other supporters questioned this. You know, they said, nah, this ain't looking right. We need to do the whole independent autopsy thing. We need a full investigation. The independent autopsy was commissioned, waiting for some things to be released. Still waiting for some things to be released with that. That ain't going to be looking right either. That ain't going to be looking right either. 2026, Shannon Wilson. Okay. Another case that drawed a lot of attention and criticism of the Mississippi's medical examiner system. Stuff ain't looking right. His family, a lot of advocates, they're questioning whether this investigation and autopsy had been done right. You know what I mean? Was it done right? It's just not looking right. Okay. And people know that if they bring in independent professional forensic pathologists to go in here and get some stuff done, they're going to see otherwise. This lady is just not looking right. Now we have this situation with Nolan Xavier Wells. I don't know. People are looking at her side-eyed again because she has a history, you know, of doing these things. Now here's the deal with this, people. We can also go to Dalma Bill. Dr. Stacy Turner, she was serving as the Mississippi Chief Medical Examiner at the time, but she's not the one who signed off on his autopsy, okay? But there's so many more. And here's the thing, people. This didn't start with Dr. Stacy Turner. I know there's a lot of you Negroes who like to listen to these white supremacists, cracker liberals, listen to you telling you things like, oh, this is Trump's America. Yeah, it's Trump's America. White supremacy continues to go on like it did 15 years ago. A lot of you Negroes are getting very disgusting, constantly trying to find an excuse for this faction of white people that you want to look at as your daddy. They are all the same. I don't care if this happened on Trump's term or during Bush term, Clinton, Obama, whoever. There have always been people like Dr. Stacy Turner in place to lock up Pell Voltron when they do these things to black people, okay? Now, you know, this Dr. Turner, she never publicly addressed these situations. She says that this is all confidential. Her people, they stick up for her. They say that she has a lot of work to do. She has a serious backlog, very busy woman. And you know what? This white woman, Stacy Turner, she don't even have to say nothing, man. I mean, what's going to happen? This is the reality for us, these white folks in Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, New York, Michigan. I don't care what state you at in these major cases. They have been lying, doing things like this for years. Not saying that they're always wrong, but even if they're wrong 1 time out of 10, that's bad because they can't be. That means they're lying. And I'm not saying there's not more than that. You know, now black people are saying, well, this has to be looked into. We're not going for it. OK, this is the problem. This is when I get this, as much as I know that this has to be looked into, as much as I believe that these white supremacists in these states are doing things to cover up the truth. I get discouraged immediately when I look at the black people who are calling for this, man. I know that these Negroes are too weak. They're too confused. They've been beaten into submission by white liberals, even white conservatives, whoever, and they pretty much make an excuse for these systemic issues and get behind white supremacist politicians, whether they be khakis, Klondikes, or just straight Opie white, who they think are going to solve these issues for them, and these people actually hate them. So although I don't believe in hope when it comes to men and women and people in politics and celebrities, I don't believe in hope at all. I'm kind of smoking hopium when I made this video. So I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself because I know that the same people who are calling for, you know, looking into this and outrage, they really, deep down inside, they love the white man's draws and they worship white supremacy. And I'm not saying all of you. I'm just saying, y'all, as much of us that aren't like that, it's too many of them that are. And they got the engine behind them. That's what I'm saying. So we know that somebody like Donald Trump is not going to push to look into these cases with black people in these states like Mississippi, where it's clear that this is blatant and happening over and over again. Donald Trump is not going to appoint an FBI head that's going to look into this. Not going to happen. And guess what? Most black people agree on that. Most black people agree. But then we also have this other faction of lost, bamboozled, weak, white man loving Negroes who actually believe that people like this are a good alternative, and somebody like this would actually look into this and try to do something about it. This right here goes to show you how confused these Negroes are.
Families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole in the country. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Let me start by saying to all of the leaders here, thank you. Thank you. To the members of our United States Congress on both sides of the aisle who helped pass the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act. Thank you. And there are many more. I could name a couple of whom I will. Among them, Senator Tammy Duckworth. Because of you, history will remember this day and this moment when our nation took action to combat hate. Thank you all. Around this time last year, when I was in the Senate, Senator Hirono and Senator Duckworth and I introduced a resolution in the United States Senate condemning the rise of anti-Asian sentiment in our country. Good morning, AIPAC. Good morning. What an honor. I believe the bonds between the United States and Israel are unbreakable. Israel has a right to defend itself, without any question.
The President and I take very seriously our commitment to Israel and to the people of Israel, to support them, and in particular to give Israel what it needs to defend itself.
And as long as I'm a United States Senator, I will do everything in my power to ensure broad and bipartisan support for Israel's security and right to self-defense.
People, I'm just showing her to give an example just to how insane many of these Negroes' minds are. And this is why somebody like Stacy Turner in Mississippi has nothing to worry about, because these shine-bone Negroes who are on social media, who have influence, your pastors, your celebrities, your politicians, celebrity politician, your sellout, Greek boule, gumbo, dancing, shucking, yuck Negroes, they will make sure that somebody like Stacy Turner can do what she wants. And then you have the regular common masses of black people who will actually sit back. They could look at MAGA man Trump and say, okay, well, yeah, this is a racist. But they'll look at a Klondike bar like this and they can't say, this is a white supremacist who hates me also, because they've been told by some people that she's not. So that just goes to show you, people, we just not aligned politically. People like Stacy Turner will be able to do whatever she wants with black people, as long as you have black people out here smoking opium, who carry these genetic tags of black people who have been beaten down and whipped and crushed for so long that we just confused, man, to where we will take a politician, a celebrity, whoever, that's been pushed by white supremacists, and we'll say, this is the answer. When that person clearly shows us and tells us every time, I'm not with y'all. Based off their track record, I don't like you, okay? So as long as we have people like this, as long as we have the majority of our people with this mindset, people like Dr. Stacy Turner in Mississippi will be able to do whatever she wants with black bodies anytime she wants, and nothing is going to happen. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. Easy.